Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and we are working on our white backs, the reverse side of the printed page from my kit for the Ephesians, the main kit. And so we just have a few pages left that are still plain. And so I'm going to do some stamping first of all, and I'm going to use archival ink, black archival ink, and then I'm going to use this, it says hybrid ink pad. And so we'll see how that stands up to, because I'm planning on doing some decoupage over the top of it. So we'll see how that goes. And so I've got my acrylic blocks out and my stamps, and this stamp, which is just some writing. So I'm just going to get going here. And this does not really have an upside or downside. Let's see. I probably will just stamp and fast forward it and put music with it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, and now I'm going to do a little bit of decoupage with some Tim Holtz tissue paper. So again, I'm using my homemade Mod Podge, which is 2 parts white glue, 1 part water, and that will give you Mod Podge if you don't want to buy Mod Podge. And with tissue paper, you always want to put some underneath it because it's not very porous, unlike your napkins. Napkins you can just put on there and then put the glue on top of it, and it will eventually soak through and be just fine. But the tissue paper does not like to do that, so you want to be sure you have glue underneath. And then I'm going to put some on top too. Okay, so I've got my sort of black and white backgrounds down now. And I did that so that I could decoupage some napkins over it, because I like the way that looks when it comes through. So I'm going to get my decoupage scraps out, which is this file folder full of all kinds of napkin pieces. And if you haven't done it before, you basically take your napkins, you peel all the background paper off. Sometimes there's one layer, usually there's two, so you're down to just that very top layer. You isolate the pieces you want with a little brush and some water to give you a feathery edge. And do I want that whole piece on there? I kind of don't want to lose that stamp right there, so I'm going to see if I can get that to not be there. Well, maybe it needs to go on a different one. Oh, I've got one here it'll work on. Okay. It'll go on this one. All right, so I'm gonna put a little bit of glue down just to kind of pin it into place, and then I can always put more on top. Since it's a napkin, it will soak through and do what it needs to do. You don't want to ever get it any more wet than it has to be, because it will soften the print on the back side if you let it get too wet. It soaks through and your crispness goes away. So I wonder if I can get this to move over a little bit. Okay, and I don't want the copyright thing of the company on there, so I'm going to take that off. Most likely there'll be a pocket here. Hopefully I don't lose my hummingbird. I don't normally like straight edges, but I'm going to leave that one. I think that looks okay. You're going to get all your bubbles out. I'm being pretty heavy-handed, so I'm starting to tear it at certain places, but it just makes it look more aged, so I'm okay with that. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about, is be sure you get to the bottom layer. This one, it feels a little thick, and sure enough I tore it and I can tell that there's another layer of paper. So I'm going to just take a piece of masking tape. You can use Scotch tape, washi tape, masking tape, any kind of tape, and you just want to stick it on and tear it, and it'll tear off that layer of white tissue paper. And this one, you have to be a little bit careful on some of them because they can be pretty well glued on. Okay, so they're good. That's what I wanted. Okay, I think I've done all I can do on that. And I still have one left. I'm going to do stenciling on that one. So I think that's it for these pages. And I will come back and we will pick up where we left off, hopefully. Bye-bye.